sharing a reading from Deng Ming Dao called
Could
Flow.
you speak in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Better. Thank you. This is called Flow. It's by Deng Ming Dao. If the boulders are moved, even a river will change its flow. Except for occasional flooding, the mightiest river keeps to its bed. It flows where it finds openings between cliffs and rocks. If the river is dammed, if the cliff walls are moved, if the boulders are shifted, it will flow a different course. It could even be made to flow backwards if the earth moved far enough. So it is with the flow of our lives. Once the fixed objects of our lives shift, our circumstances change. If we move to another city, life will change. If we marry one person over another, life will be different. If we situate our business in a good neighborhood, life will be prosperous. If we choose a house in a good setting, life will be healthy. If we arrange our furniture properly, life will be comfortable. If we eat correctly, life will be prolonged. In short, followers of Tao realize that the flow of life can be affected and to some degree consciously manipulated simply by altering its parameters. Life is the flow of energy. It is the air we breathe, the force that moves the weather, the force of all minds combined. It keeps the rivers flowing, our hearts beating, and the sky blue. This flow of energy moves constantly according to the fixed points that exist at any given moment. Therefore, by manipulating the cardinal points of our lives, we can change the flow. The freedom to choose and to change belongs to us. Thank you all for being here and listening. I really enjoy sharing what I've been learning about. It's been a lot of traditional Chinese medicine, as you know, over the last couple of years. I think this is my 6th time sharing some ideas with you. And today we're going to be talking about energy, mostly through the lens of traditional Chinese medicine. But I wanted to start today by sharing these words by Pixie Lighthorse. She's of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. And this really kind of sets the stage. This is honoring the spark. Thank you for this beautiful day of creative fire. We're so grateful to be alive and seeking wellness together. Light in us a great flame of understanding. When we hesitate and doubt, amplify your radiance through our energy centers. Let us be lanterns for your cause. We see your beauty, sweet spirits, reflected back at us in the tiny new flower heads and shimmering petals. We recognize new life everywhere, and in it, our own capacity to blossom and radiate life energy too. We feel the warmth of your subtle sunshine and can be confident that we warm the hearts of others when we shine our lights, acting as the generative and magnificent instruments we were designed to be. We know that creativity is the way. We hear your call to make beauty in the world and leave a trail of rainbows in our wake. Help us face our challenges head on with innovation. Help us save this beautiful Earth Mother and ourselves by our wits and our willing hands and hearts. Help us value that we are living organisms who can give back as much as we take. Remind us of what ignites us, what inspires us to mimic your minute-to-minute acts of creation. Give to us everything we need to believe in miracles and magic, and the patience to wait for them to unfold in front of our apprehensive eyes. Show us how to stay lit as we come out from our dark caverns of fear. Release our trepidations and put your creative power to work in us. Move our hands across the paper, our brushes across the canvas, and our bows across the strings. Infuse our weary hearts with the faith we need to carry forward, not like soldiers warring tirelessly for the cause, but like light beams who have already reached their destination before our minds can even imagine it. So to continue our theme and build some good energy here. Sharon and Lynn are going to lead us. And Wake Now My Senses, it's number 298 in the hymnal.
And we have Hallie. And Hallie's here. Yes. Tina came in. Tina's over here. I'm here.
Yep.
Oh, she snuck in. You snuck in. Wow, that's great. And we're going to sing the first and the last verses, number 1 and number 5, 298. Wake Now My Senses. As soon as we get Tina settled. Oh. 298.
No,
She's gonna get it.
I'll hum us an intro, pretend I'm the piano.
Wake now my senses and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being all. Keep with the web of creation your vow. Giving, receiving, as love shows us how. Wake now my vision of ministry clear. Brighten my pathway with radiance here. Mingle my calling with all who will share. Work toward a planet transformed by our care. Thank you.
A lot of good music today. I'm excited. Our story today is from Thomas Merton's translation of The Way of Chuang-Tzu. And it illustrates this concept of Yi Tao, Qi Tao, or Yi leads Qi. But you may know it as where attention goes, energy flows. That might sound kind of familiar to you. So I think that idea is relatable to anybody, whether you're a kid and you need to get your homework done, or you're a homeowner and you have a project in your house and you just don't want to get started, but it's the same concept. And maybe you can relate to this as you hear this story. This story is called The Wood Carver. King, the master carver, made a bell stand of precious wood. When it was finished, all who saw it were astounded. They said it must be the work of spirits. The Prince of Lu said to the master carver, "What is your secret?" King replied, "I am only a workman. I have no secret. There is only this. When I began to think about the work you commanded, I guarded my spirit, did not expend it on trifles that were not to the point. I fasted in order to set my heart at rest. After 3 days of fasting, I had forgotten gain and success. After 5 days, I had forgotten praise or criticism. After 7 days, I had forgotten my bodies with all its limbs. By this time, all thought of your highness and of the court had faded away. All that might distract me from the work had vanished. I was collected in the single thought of the bell stand. Then when I went to the forest to see the trees in their own natural state, the right tree appeared before my eyes, and the bell stand also appeared in it, clearly, beyond doubt. All I had to do was put forth my hand and begin. If I had not met this particular tree, there would have been no bell stand at all. What happened? My own collected thought encountered the hidden potential in the wood. From this live encounter came the work which you ascribe to the spirits.
You have the words on the back of your program, and June has them up on the wall. Maybe you even know them by memory. Would you say with me now the words of our affirmation? Why are we here? Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve the needs of all beings, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with the source of our being. Thank you. And now we will receive the offering for the ongoing work of this congregation and food for the Family Center. Thank you.
I wanted to share a meditation with you from Qigong master Ken Cohen. It's kind of inspired by his work to go along with our exploration of energy today. And this meditation can be useful for headaches or to kind of clear your mind when you're in the middle of a big project and you need a little bit of clarity on the next step. And so for that reason, it's good first thing in the morning or when you want to take a break. And maybe 20 minutes into our service now, it's about time to clear some mental cobwebs and do this meditation together. So I hope you'll join me. Go ahead and get comfortable wherever you are. Folks at home, watching the recording, or here, just kind of get comfortable in your seat. Notice your sit bones. And notice the natural breath that you have. We're going to be working with the breath for this meditation. So just notice how your breath feels. And before we get started, I want to let you know that this meditation involves a few moments of time of holding your breath. And it's totally up to you how long that is and what that feels like. When you're ready to release, go ahead and release. I will guide you through it. And we're going to go through a guided breath about 3 times. So you'll get the hang of it by the 3rd time. But I wanted to give you permission ahead of time that when you feel like you're ready to let go of that breath, you can go ahead and do that. So maybe you're going to lower the shades of your eyes to get really comfortable here and to tune into that breath. Maybe you've already done that, so you can notice what your natural breath feels like. Just start by watching that breath, letting it deepen and slow, sort of to the pace it might have when you're resting comfortably. And as you breathe naturally here, set the stage for our practice by picturing your spine as a hollow channel, like a hollow tube, and it's supporting you at your back. And it's a conduit for your own energy. It's from the bottom of your tailbone all the way to the base of your brain. All right, so when you're ready for this first breath, take a slow, full inhale through your nose and imagine all this healing force as a white mist. Let it descend to the base of your spine, and as you gently hold that breath, picture it entering your spinal column at your tailbone. Let that mist rise up all the way to your brain, and then exhale slowly from your mouth when you're ready. Imagine that breath that you're exhaling as a dark cloud leaving your body. And once you've fully exhaled, let your natural breath come on back. So that's what each of these breaths look like. All right, when you're ready for the second one, again, take a full inhale of imaginary white mist through your nose. That breath enters your tailbone, and like a straw, it starts to ascend your spine, lower back, mid back, upper back, neck. Swirls around your brain, cleansing, revitalizing, like clouds, and then exhale from your mouth. Nice. Little grayish color to that mist that comes out of your mouth, you can imagine. And then let the natural breath come back. So one last time, when you're ready, take in that clear white mist through your nose on your inhale. Picture it gathering at your tailbone. Draw it up each vertebra to your brain, step by step. Send it through the lobes, tissues, any place that needs to be cleared. And then let that breath fall away through your mouth. Imagine blowing away clouds that might be obscuring a sky. And then let that natural breath come on back. And bring your attention to the crown of your head where you've blown away any clouds of confusion or doubt or something hiding some clarity that might be there. And imagine a clear, blue, tranquil sky that you're left with. And when you're ready, you can slowly raise the shades of your eyes and take the time to start to look around your space, see your friends next to you, this sanctuary. Maintaining that sense of a clear blue sky, not unlike what we have outside right now today. And see if you can keep that image with you as Bill helps us picture it even more with this song.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. Gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. Gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. Gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
Bill's such a good sport. I said, please, will you play this song? It's just so perfect. Let's see. F. Nope, that's not what I want to share. Hang on. I just want to give you only what you need to worry about seeing. And not give you a lot of distracting other things. There, better. Everyone can see that? Okay. Now I can see the people at home. Hello, hello, hello. Nice to see you. So energy, is it starting to come together a little bit, making sense for what we're looking at today? So this is a huge topic. I have no idea why I decided, well, I do know why I decided to take it on, but it's a great big topic, and we're only gonna look at a little piece of it. And I think you already get a lot of it, and I think the music and words from other people help us understand what we're talking about. But the idea here is that everything has energy, and it's really, really important that we know that and connect to that. So let's start by looking at some specifics. So when we use the word energy, some of these words might come to you, like energy sounds like power, spark, work, movement. There's a dynamism to it. Do any other words like that come to mind for you when you think of energy? And maybe I captured quite a few of them there, but I thought this, I think it's a cheetah, moving really, really shows that idea of force and movement. So that is energy when we talk about energy. And if we're going to get scientific and we talk about energy, we might look at a photo like this and say that makes sense. But then there's also this kind of energy where we talk about words like prana or reiki, or today, the word we're going to be talking about is chi. These more subtle words and the more subtle aspects of energy, a word like spirit or life force, breath of life, there's an inward focus to these words, really, really subtle, and maybe even there's a stillness to energy, and that sort of doesn't make sense compared with what we just saw with the cheetah, but it can be both. And that's one of the ideas we'll get to today. When we talk about the subtle aspects of energy, by virtue of them being subtle, we can't really see them. We can't really put our finger on what we're talking about. Some of you may have gone to an acupuncturist, and the acupuncturist talked about meridians and talked about that type of energy. Well, where are the meridians? Can I dissect the body and find these things? Well, not really. So what is this thing? We can't hold on to it. It's a little confusing. You might even use the word mystical, talking about chi or energy or life force. But many systems use this idea of subtle energy to navigate the body and to go a bit deeper than the bodies of each of us that we have standing in front of each other, that there's something that goes beyond there. So specifically, this word chi today, some people say ki, some depending on what schools you come out of, you might use this as qi instead of qi, but we'll call it qi today. And this is the traditional symbol, Chinese symbol for qi, which you learn a lot by looking at the traditional symbols of these words. So this pictogram here, the bottom left shows a grain of rice being cooked. So it's kind of exploding or puffing up. I think all of us who've cooked rice are familiar with rice. It starts really small and then it gets big, and there's a little explosion, like a popcorn kernel that happens in that rice. And then the part of the pictogram on the upper left is showing the air or the energy or the output of that rice as it explodes. So this is the idea, traditional Chinese idea of qi or energy, that there's something in that rice, we change it, it explodes and it releases its energy. So it's kind of interesting, and something we're gonna kind of file away in our head here. It's actually, qi is so important to traditional Chinese medicine. It's one of three, it's called the three treasures in traditional Chinese medicine, along with spirit and material essence. So it's that important that it's considered a treasure. All right, this may look familiar to you. We've gone over this image I think five times so far. And there's one of these Taiji-2 symbols hanging in your mobile over here. And here's a little background. You see this symbol and you might not know exactly what's going on here. So there's a dark side of the symbol and a light side, the yin and the yang. And yin, the word yin actually means shady side of the mountain. And the word yang encompasses the idea of the sunny side of a mountain. So when you have a mountain, there's a dark side and a light side. And all of the qualities of the dark side, I just included a few things here: cold, passive, inside, downward. It's kind of a quieter, still in energy, balances out or harmonizes with yang energy, which is very dynamic and bright and moving, sort of like that cheetah. And both of those things are part of the energy here. And the idea of these two things working together create that dynamic flow, like Deng Ming Dao talked about, and movement, which is the energy. So it's all very simple, right? But it's actually quite complex. And I want you to notice too, before we go off this slide here, these concepts that I'm moving very, very quickly through to get to our more specific point today. But notice how there's a little dot of dark in the light and a little dot of light in the dark. So there's always one within the other at any given time. And again, that helps that energy move. That's pretty cool. We see the symbol a lot, and sometimes you don't know what it's all about, but that's a little background for you. Oscillation that's happening. All right, and then this should look really familiar to you, because this is what we studied a few times already. And I just wanted to point out to you today how our 5-element theory that we talked about piece by piece here through the seasons, that there's movement to it. Somebody actually asked in one of the presentations about what those arrows mean. And that means how one feeds into the other, and our seasons turn one into the other. The energy of one season feeds into the next. There is also a crossover between them in the middle that you don't really need to know that much about, but it's the relationship of these elements, one into the other, that creates the movement that helps create the energy of our seasons and our environment around us. So that's externally what's going on. But all of this is happening internally too. So for us, when we talk about qi or energy, that qi is going to manifest in our body as things like muscles that are engaged. So that's the energy, the actual energy maybe of that rice, if you had rice for dinner, that helps you move and get your projects done. Fiery metabolism in your body that's helping digest that food and send it to the right places to do some healing work for you. There's electricity in your heart beating, nervous system activity. So there's energy within your body that's actually keeping you alive, but also helped you get here today, helped you sign on to Zoom, brain activity, all kinds of things going on in your body. And that's how Qi is showing up for you and being helpful for you. And in traditional Chinese medicine, there's the Qi of the outside world, which we talked about, the seasons. And then there's all of this that makes up our internal Qi. And for us to be healthy, us staying in concert with that external world is like the ideal thing that would keep us the healthiest, according to that school of thought. So what does that mean? It could mean a lot of different things, but it's really a balance or a harmony of things like movement and stillness, movement and rest, breathing. We did that with the meditation already. There's an inhale and it gets balanced out with the exhale. We need to have both of those. Quiet meditation time to balance out maybe active work time. A diet that is balanced and healthy, not too much tending toward indulgence or scarcity, somewhere in the middle. A good amount of sleep. And the right amount of stress, because there is good stress, and that is helpful and useful to us, but not too much of the negative, overwhelming stress that unfortunately we tend to be plagued with today. So it's really about a balance. But in addition to just this kind of straightforward balance, it's this awareness and mindfulness piece in the middle here. That really helps create the idea of wholeness. So we can have all the energy and the good food and the rest and everything else, but if we can move through our day, our tasks, our life with a sense of awareness that we know what's going on, paying attention, that is the little extra special spark that helps create a balanced whole in our body. So I thought we'd do a little bit of exploration today with this as well. This is something you can do right from your chair. Those of you at home, same thing, right from where you are. And I think it's kind of fun. And it might be something that you're familiar with doing, but let's play around with this. So we've done a pretty good job with presence and awareness already with meditation, and hopefully you feel a little bit relaxed, clear-headed now that Bill kept the song going for us. So we still have this nice clear blue sky of our mind. So that's a perfect way to start. And if you want to tap back into that and maybe get a little more settled in your seat again, notice your spine, that you did such a good job of clearing with that breath, feeling that spine supporting you. So whenever you can come back to where you're seated, what it feels like to have your feet on the floor, that's snapping back into your awareness and bringing all the parts of you back to right where you are so you can pay attention to what's going on. Okay. 2 hands, bring them together. Start rubbing your hands. There's a few different ways you can do this, but this is kind of the universal that seems to feel best for everybody. So notice your hands, maybe they're getting a little warm. Maybe you can feel the bumps and the calluses and the things on your hands. Just interesting. You can wash the backs of your hands. We did a lot of this during COVID, right? Wringing wrists, wringing hands, warming the backs of your hands. You can even bring the backs of your hands together. Notice what's happening. And this one's a little different, and you might like it, you might not. Bring your fingernails together and rub your fingernails together. Some people are immediately like, oh, that's weird, I don't like that. Go back to rubbing your hands. This is, there are lots of meridians, acupuncture meridians that begin and end in your fingernails. And we don't walk around like thinking about our fingernails during the day, so this heightens your awareness of the ends of your fingers. All right, 2 hands, take them and rest. You can rest the backs of your hands in your lap. You can keep your hands up, whatever you're comfortable with. just notice to start what you might feel. Anyone want to share anything at this point about what they feel?
Tingling sensation.
Mm-hmm. Heat. Yeah, right? You said heat? Okay, so let's go with that and the tingling. Start to bring your hands toward each other. Now, can you feel some more heat too between your hands? And maybe you have to get your hands kind of close together to feel it. Or maybe you can bring your hands apart and notice that it gets a little cooler when you bring your hands apart. So just almost like you have taffy in your hands, you can bring your hands a little closer, a little further apart, and see what you notice. Maybe you notice absolutely nothing, and that is fine. But by being aware and focused on our hands, like we don't do for much of our day, we can tune into something going on there, just something going on. And so you can play with that. You're actually holding a ball of energy there, because there is something going on between your hands, whether it's straight up heat or vibration or a spark or a spirit or something bigger. And you can play with this during the day. And, you know, there's a lot of fun you can have with this about tossing the ball into one hand. Can you leave it in one hand? And then maybe put it in the other hand. You know, once you get going, you can kind of have fun. When you have a partner, you can maybe toss the ball to a partner and feel their energy coming back at you. All right. Yeah, I encourage you to play around with this. So when you're done, you don't want to just drop this thing on the floor. So you can bring your hands together. And if it suits you, if it feels good, you can bring it right into your center, right into your belly. Soak up that nice warm energy that you created. Kind of fun. I feel like kids like to do that kind of thing. Kids are, first of all, a lot more tuned into that stuff than we are, but this is a nice thing to play with during the day when you want to check in and see if you can find that energy that's within you. All right, so if you're in a place where you can't do an energy ball exercise to remind you of your energy and how your energy feels, I really liked this quote and this idea from this book called The Path by Michael Pewitt and Christine Groslaw about what nourishes our chi and our energy. And it really comes down to our senses and tuning into our senses. They mentioned painting in a museum, hearing a piece of music, anything that inspires awe, refines chi by training the senses to respond more profoundly to the world around us. And here's the awareness again. When we're more aware of the world and all its dimensions, we're more open to all that we can potentially feel about it and better able to react well to it. They've also mentioned that discrete elements, like in music, rhythm and words in a reading and ingredients in a recipe, like discrete elements can help us tune into energy a bit more. So I found that kind of fascinating. And I love that we get to have music today to round this out. All right, so you probably figured I was going to talk about Tai Chi. I was going to work Tai Chi into this somehow, right? So,
Do you want to say, Joe, why?
yeah.
You do that? There may be people here who don't know what you do
Yes,
on Tuesday mornings.
On Tuesday mornings, right here, we have a Tai Chi class. We started up our second series 2 weeks ago. And we are moving through some elements of a form called Fall Prevention Tai Chi, which is a beginner form of Tai Chi. It's based on a style called Sun. It has small steps. It's very upright, but it retains all the elegant qualities of Tai Chi that you may have seen videos of people doing. What is Tai Chi? Why are we even talking about it? Why do we even do it here? So here's a breakdown of Tai Chi Chuan, which is the complete name. Supreme Ultimate, actually, fist or movement. Tai Chi came out of a martial arts. It's considered a hidden martial art. So while the movements look very beautiful and elegant, they break down to that they are taking care of enemies for people who needed that protection in their villages in ancient China. And why we do it here, first of all, Tai Chi in general has a lot of great benefits. Calming and clearing the mind, some of what we've already done this morning, really helps slow your heartbeat, bring you into the present moment, can tone your muscles, because we do it standing, but you're welcome to sit, because we also focus on certain things while we're seated. And then it can help you connect with your energy, because we do some kind of energy ball work, and it helps you connect with the people you're with. And we also record the classes. We have them on Zoom, live streamed and recorded, so that we have folks as far away as Montreal who are joining us. And they're part of the energy that you get to feel as well. September's Fall Prevention Awareness Month. And one of the greatest dangers to seniors is falling and getting hurt. 1 out of 3 Vermonters has a serious fall in their lifetime, and it can be really devastating, not just to the person who fell, but to their family as well, their caregivers. And many studies have been done to show the benefits specifically of Tai Chi for helping seniors feel more stable on their feet, retaining a sense of balance. We've had people who've come off, younger people who've come off of surgeries who need help walking and standing again. It's a lot to do that. You know, our brain is involved, not just our body and our lower body strength. So we work all of those things in our form of Tai Chi that we do. So the benefits specifically for the form that we do here: increases mobility, helps boost strength, really helps improve safety. You learn how to shift your weight from one foot to the other in an easeful way that feels good in your body. And we all love the community that it fosters. And we just love the time that we get to be together and do something meaningful to us. And I think you find it similar to what happens here on Sunday mornings. When we talk about energy and this thing that we can't put our finger on, there's a reason that you come here on Sundays. And it has to do with the other people who are here, the energy of the other people who are here, like-minded people. So that's some of the subtlety that we get to build on with a Tai Chi practice too. So 2 people who are in class, Bet and Sharon, are here today, and they have agreed to, along with me, do a little demo of what we're doing. We stay in front of the mic for a bit. So you can see what we're doing. We're gonna show you level 1. We met in the spring, and we went through level 1 in the spring. And while we're 2 classes in,
Stop your screen share.
thank you. Yes, thank you.
There you go, thank you.
Yeah, that wouldn't work. We're 2 classes in, but because we have the recordings, you can catch up with us. And even if you didn't look at the recordings, we are always reviewing, because everybody always needs review. So we just wanted to show you what level 1 looks like. You both can see me, right?
Yep.
And June, we're good?
Yep.
Thank you, thank you. So that's some of what we're doing. That's level one. We're gonna see if we can get through level two this time around. And I think the best thing about Tai Chi in general and the Tai Chi we do here is that we call it playing Tai Chi. Just come and play Tai Chi with us. It's not, there's nothing that you need to get done while you're here. You just need to come and hang out. So it's a lot of fun. So I encourage you to join us. As I mentioned, we're 2 classes in. You're welcome to start at any time. You can review the videos that we've done. And I'll be around after if you have any questions or anything on Tai Chi or on Chi in general, which we'll be here the rest of the day if we try to talk about that, but. And it's free, thanks, Phil. Yeah, that's such a great benefit. It's so nice that June has helped set me up and Bill with the audio and the video, and they've made it very easy so that we can have the recording. So yeah, I'd love to have anybody who wants to join us. Any questions at this point on anything? Thank you all for listening and participating and playing with the energy ball. It's a lot of fun. All right, so we're going to continue the energy of the universe and connecting with that with the worship team leading us hymn 3, chant 387, the earth, the water, the fire, the air.
This is a really simple chant. You may know it already. We'll sing the words as they are in the book, but don't follow the music. Listen to us.
I'm not in the worship committee. But I was asked to join.
You're part of the singers.
Right.
Yes. You want to give us a note? The earth, the water, the fire, the air, return, 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 return. The earth, the water, the fire, the air, return, 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 return. The earth, the water, the fire, the air, return, 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 return. The earth, the water, the fire, the air, return, 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 return. The earth, the water, the fire, the air, return, 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 return.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Good heavens. Thank you.
All right, so one last reading that I wanted to share. This is from the Web Has No Weaver. It's a traditional, well dog-eared, well-read Chinese medicine book. And this idea of Qi is one I wanted to share. The author, Ted Kapchuk, says, this is the best single statement concerning Qi that summarizes the sense that Chinese history has conferred on the concept. And this is from Tu Wei Ming's writings. All modalities of being, from a rock to heaven, are integral parts of a continuum, and that continuum is called Tahua. Since nothing is outside of this continuum, the chain of being is never broken. A linkage will always be found between any given pair of things in the universe. The continuous presence of Qi and all modalities of being makes everything flow together as the unfolding of a single process. Nothing, not even an almighty creator, is external to this process.
Go ahead.
With our subtle energy.